Out of this continuous stream of action, the human observer perceives socially meaningful discrete events, as revealed by words used to describe these events. For example, she smiled, he nodded. Duh, right? Good. That's not a good smile. I can't give you a good smile. That's a good smile. That's not a good smile, right? You know, you can make, I'm not going to do the face thing, right? I've made enough ridiculous faces in this video. But you get the idea. The idea is that we have to be in tune to nonverbal cues, because those nonverbal cues serve as the consequence of that which anteceded it, right? And what anteceded it was a feeling, right? Those nonverbal cues are the manifestations, the physical manifestation of feeling and emotion. And we need to be in tune with those feelings and emotion in order to create a comfortable environment, right? We want the room to be comfortable. So, top of page 14, last page of the notes. Field notes and interview notes should be rich with event descriptors accounting for perceptions of comfort and body language. And I talked about this before. In your notes, you don't have to worry so much about taking a verbatim account of mental verbatim account of what's being said, because you have your audio being recorded. That frees me up. I can always go back to the audio and listen to it, but that frees me up to make assessments of the person's body language, right? And you want to make sure that you don't do it in a pervy way. I hate to bring this up, but you know, if you have a female participant and she thinks that you're looking at her breast the whole time, rather than, no, I'm not really looking at your breast. What I'm doing is I'm really assessing your body language. You got to make sure that you do this in a way that the participant isn't aware of the fact that you're assessing their body. That what you're doing is a physical body assessment. Women are more sensitive to this because guys spend half the conversation looking at breasts. So I'm being honest, right? I don't do this, obviously. Men are much less aware of this because they never have anyone really look at them physically while they're talking. So you have to be me, and this is just a side note, and this is probably too informal, but it's the truth, right? If you're making body assessments and your participant is a woman and you are a man, be cautious of the fact that women are very, very in tune to people watching their body. So they might confuse you assessing their body language with, he's looking at my breast, and you're going to get another type of response, right? You don't want to do that. So you have to be very discreet in this. I'm probably the only professor in the world that will talk about this type of stuff, but this is the truth, right? It's like, hey, he's looking at my breast the whole interview. No, actually I'm not. I'm trying to assess your body. Seriously, Dr. Campbell told me that I'm supposed to look at your body, right? This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what good qualitative research is about. I'm making light, but you guys, hopefully you understand. Okay, so first bullet point. Though it is a verbal cue in, quote, interaction such as turn-taking cues involved in the coordination of speaking and listening roles, right? So we're going to, as I said before, there's going to be a sense in which you will be able to sync and complete, I never put sync up here. Mutual attention, evaluate, and number 3 is syncing, right? You're going to sync. Anytime I am in a discussion as a researcher with the, when I'm in a discussion as a researcher with the, you get the game now. Jamaicans have a saying, once bitten, twice shy. I can't fool you. You know that I'm trying to elicit you to say participant. Once the researcher is in an interview with the participant, the fact that you say participant lets me know that you're engaged and in sync with me in the conversation and that we have a good rapport. I'm not telling you to actually, it's not a bad thing what I'm teaching you now. It's a much, much more advanced. This is why I feel I don't need to go any deeper than I do in my lectures, because I already go pretty damn deep. But you might think of, before the research, an opportunity to give the participant an opportunity to chime in. I'm trying to struggle for a word, but you said the word a lot throughout the interview, and you wait to see if the if the participant has cued in. And if they give you the response that you're looking for, okay, yeah, we really are synced in. Now I recognize that I've established a really good rapport with this participant. There's no ethics violation in this. There's nothing unethical about what I'm training you to do. Obviously, there's nothing unethical about this. Is much, much more advanced level sort of qualitative assessment that I'm teaching. But it gives you the confidence to know that you might be able to get more out of the participant because the participant actually is in sync. Number 2, tip. Since the interview is being recorded, this takes practice, what I'm about to tell you. Try to block out all the participant is saying and simply watch the body language, right? Record what you see. So I record what they say. I record body language. Oh, I'm not going to get into everything, but I have a practice that I do, right? I record body language and I have a notation style, which I will never lecture on. But I created my own system, right, wherein I can make assessments of the person's body and the relationship between their body movements, macro and micro, and the relationship that those movements possibly have to some emotional connection, some feeling, some sentiment. What I've been waiting for, finally, it's known as postural mirroring. Oopsie. A lot of technical jargon-filled stuff in this lecture, but postural mirroring, I am actually going to disagree with the authors on this point. The authors don't believe, based on their research, that postural mirroring is a good indication for rapport building. I would say that this isn't a science to begin with, right? So to deny the fact that postural mirroring has, and I'm not knocking the research because I love this. This article was one of the best articles I read in preparation for this lecture series. But the authors believe that postural mirroring doesn't really serve as a good nonverbal indicator for rapport building. I want to disagree, right? I want to say that postural mirroring, if used properly, actually does serve as a good nonverbal indicator for rapport building because you see this all the time, right? The easiest postural mirroring to talk about is the yawn. That was a fake yawn. My fake yawn might have created in you, wherever you are in the world, a physiological yawn. Oh man. I've been doing this a lot. Right? That yawn can create a postural mirroring. A yawn in you. It's the quickest, most simple, thing that you guys know. One person yawns causes a lot of people to yawn. That phenomenon sort of is an example. Very trite, very simple, but is an example of postural mirroring. You mirror the posture. You see me yawn, you start yawning. You see me yawn, you start thinking about the fact that you've been spending 2 hours watching my videos. You should be tired, right? Because we've been at this for 2 hours. You've probably taken breaks. I've been here continuously. The idea is, for me, postural mirroring is a way of assessing rapport building with you and the participant. I believe if you are fully aware of this, super prepared because you've watched the series, and you're doing your readings, and you talk with your committee members, I really do believe that if you come into the interview and you convey body language, be it fake or not, it doesn't really matter. It's not about it being fake or not. But you convey body language to the participant that you feel reflects feelings of comfort, of warmth, of camaraderie, of rapport. It is going to be natural. Remember what we said with the infant and mutual attentiveness. You smile with the infant and you talk like this, and the infant's going to smile back. Right? So if I start smiling with the infant, if I start smiling with the participant, and you don't overdo this, if I have a certain leisurely vibe about myself, if I'm relaxed, if I'm in tune with the needs and concerns of my participant, and I express that through my body language, then there's a likelihood that they will reciprocate and they will feel comfortable. This is not a science, as I said, but I actually do believe that postural mirroring can be used to establish rapport with the participant. So, smiling, directing a gaze, head nodding, forward trunk movement, blah, 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 blah. Last bullet point before the summary. Imagine yourself and the participant while you are conducting the interview. What message does your body language convey? What are you doing? What sense do they have of you? What sense do you think that they have of you? Think about yourself outside of the interview and make an assessment on what you would think about the interview, right? I don't think I included it in here, but the author said, you know, watch video of someone doing a presentation, but mute the audio. Just look at their face. Just look at their arms. Just look at their legs. Look at their body. You know, put the audio on, but focus on the face only. Turn the audio off and look at the body only, and so on, right? The idea is you need to be able to condition yourself to be in tune with what body language the participant uses to communicate feelings of comfort and rapport, and then you want to mirror that body language, right? For all participants, they won't have the same body language, but if when someone laughs, they do a particular body gesture, and that body gesture says that I'm comfortable, then you need to mirror back that to them, that same body language, because they will unconsciously, I don't know which one, they will, unbeknownst to their own awareness, pick up that body expression back from you that, oh, this is cool, he's comfortable, right? This is a good interview. I like this guy. I like this woman. Okay, summary. During interview, create, I'm just going to go through these because this is the last bit. It's not basically anything of much significance, but during the interview, create a sense of comfort with your body language as a researcher. Number two, via body movement, via gesticulation and physical cues, encourage the participant to mirror your body language without addressing the fact. You don't want to call attention to this. This is training for researchers, not training for the mass. Definitely not training for the participants. This is me training trainers, right? Convey a sense of comfort and ease with participation, with the participant, both with your voice and your posture, obviously. Take comfort in your audio recorder and focus on the visual indicators that strike you as important from the participant. And then lastly, be considerate and recognize levels of comfort and discomfort during the interview. Those levels of comfort that manifest themselves in the body in terms of expressions of warmth and comfort, mirror that back using postural mirroring, and let the participant know non-verbally that you are comfortable. This is the absolute conclusion of this lecture series. I might return to this maybe in the future, I might not, but this concludes the lecture series in its entirety. I want to thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for sticking around for so many hours and listening to me talk about ethics and qualitative methods research. This concludes the lecture series. I'm Dr. Jason J. Campbell. Thank you, and have a good day.